Beautiful lady with her little baby. And guess what they do? They don't have anything to give us, but when we give them a lot, they give us a goat. So this is a goat that Walter, he picks all of them up, and we take them, we put them in the truck. We have a truck that we've bought for a man over there that goes from village to village, and he helps them in repair work and things like that. Walter has funded a lot of this personally. But we take that goat and we take it to the next village. And on this trip, Joe Cheatham from Columbia, who's a veterinarian, asked me to buy goats for him. And I bought several for him, and of course I bought some, because that's livelihood in a village for a family. They're the goats. You don't see me holding them, do you? Sometimes they give me guinea hens. You know what those are? Guinea hens? And they have claws about 2 or 3 inches. Scares me to death. And they're alive when they give them to you. But anyway, and there's my goats. See in the back of the truck? We just put them in the back of it and we take them to the next village. And that little girl, isn't she beautiful? I'd bring all the children home with me if I could. This is my favorite. That little boy's beautiful. I'm going to submit, Sandy, that picture and hope the Rotarian will put it in there. I just love that picture. They may not, but I'm going to do it. So sweet and so innocent and so loving. And that's a Rotary Club meeting. That's those of us who went to a Rotary Club meeting at night. And that was afterwards, after some of the people left, we thought we'd take a picture so you could see some of the group who went. And I wanted to say thank you. Thank you, because you made that possible. You gave us the money. Gave us the money to help us build those schools. Now for the next few minutes, let me get into, this is the Foundation Month. The Rotary Foundation Month, as you heard a few minutes ago. There are things that we do this month that we probably don't do other months. But I wanted to talk with you just a little bit about what the Foundation does. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very blessed. I've been all over the world, not only with Rotary, but as an educator. Before I became a Rotarian, I did a lot in education, wrote business books, so I spoke all over the world about education. I'm for our people being educated. But now it's all about Rotary and our foundation. I've been, as Gabby said, I've immunized children in India. I've been in villages in Thailand, in Kenya, you name it. And I've helped feed the hungry. I've helped dig a water well in the Amazon jungle. I've helped build, at least I helped, put the nails in there to help build a school, all those kinds of things. And that's where your money goes. I want you to know that. Every dime you give to the Rotary Foundation only helps to improve the lives of those who cannot help themselves. So let me very briefly mention just a few things in particular. And I want to look at hunger. I heard the gentleman say back there that he wants you to bring food. That's my passion, really, is to feed the hungry. I'm on the Harvest Hope Food Bank in Columbia and the Rise Against Hunger International Board. I believe strongly that hunger should not exist in this world. And I will share this with you. Do you know, with senior citizens, and as I look around this group, other than Gabby and me, there are a few senior citizens in here. Last year, I think he almost told you how old I was, right, when I was here. I love Gabby. He's a wonderful Rotarian. Did you know that 1 in 6 senior citizens goes hungry every day? 1 in 6. Do you know that within 2 miles of where you live, there's food insecurity, there's hunger? Within 2 miles of where everybody in here lives. Now you're going to start thinking. You may not know about it. There are people, their mothers and their fathers who do without food in order for their children to have food, or to be able to buy supplies for school, or to buy medicine for the family. I want you just to think about that. If you can help with hunger, do it. Let me share with you a personal story. This was in my Sunday school class about probably 10 years ago now. And we were talking about hunger. And there's a good friend in there with me. Anyway, he's a lawyer. And as he talked about hunger. He said, you know, when I ride by on the road and I see somebody there with a sign that says I'm hungry, or my family's hungry, he said, I ride right on by. And he said, the reason I do that is because I know they're going to take that money and they're going to buy booze, they're going to buy cigarettes or something like that. And I let him talk for a while. There were about 35 at that time in my Sunday school class. And finally, when people finished talking, I said, well, I'd like to say something. And I said, I beg to differ with you, Tom. I said, because if I see somebody with a sign that says I'm hungry, or my family's hungry, or they have little children there, I'm going to stop my car. And I'm going to give them $1 or $2, whatever is in that little compartment in my car. And you know why? Because I've done what is right. Now, what he or she does with that money is between that individual and the good Lord. But I've done what is right. Don't go by people that say they're hungry. Because in most cases, they probably are hungry. We're addressing that through Rotary. My Rotary Club's doing that in Columbia. We're doing that with all of our Rotary Clubs. Make sure that you do that, okay? That's terribly important. You know, where Rotary goes, this is what I find in the world, and I want to share this with you today. Where our Rotary Foundation goes, there's wholesome food like you had for lunch today. There's clean water like we're providing in Ghana. Access to immunizations, access to prenatal care, access to dental hygiene, which is so important, access to modern surgical techniques to correct crooked limbs, cleft palates, and defective hearts. And the list goes on and on and on. You know, I've been in developing countries. We used to say third world countries, but we've been corrected on that. We're supposed to say developing countries. And I've been in those countries where they do not have medical clinics. They do not have hospitals. They do not have access to what you and I have. You know, if I have a foot problem, I can get to a podiatrist. If I have a kidney problem, I can get to a urologist. And sometimes, if I have pains in my chest, I should be able to get to a cardiologist. I want you to know today, 1 billion people in the world do not have access to what you and I have. They don't have it, ladies and gentlemen. And when I was in Peru, I had an accident, and the good Lord brought me home because the medical clinic there didn't have anything. Didn't have anything. So when I share with you today, I'm sharing with you first-hand information. It's not something I read in a book. It's something Ann Matthews experienced herself. Let's look at water for just a minute. Water is critical, and most of us ignore it. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we don't value it. You know, the great inventor Benjamin Franklin once said, when the well is dry, we know the worth of water. Well, for a lot of people in the world that you and I live in, particularly in developing countries, the well is either very dry or it's very contaminated. Think with me for just a minute. Today, or on any given day, half of the people in developing countries are sick because they had to drink contaminated water. More than 660 million people worldwide do not have access to safe, clean water. One of the most special things I've done in my life is to go and help dig a water well in Ghana and see a little boy or a little girl get clean water for the first time. It makes an indelible indention on your soul. We take it for granted, ladies and gentlemen, don't we? Don't we? Be honest, we do. We shouldn't. 40% of the world's population does not have basic sanitation facilities. You know that beautiful bathroom that we have? I get very personal with you. That beautiful bathroom that we have, 40% of the world's population could not describe what you and I have. So